Okay. I think we're good, Jamie.
I think we are. Yes, I'm just moving things on my screen so I can see if anybody chats with us. Let's see. Maybe. There it is. Okay. There it is.
All right, we're back.
We are.
All right, well, welcome everybody. It is Wednesday, September 21st. I think Earth, Wind and Fire did a song about the 21st of September.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna have
if
to
I'm not
find
mistaken.
You have to send it to me because you know I love when you send me songs.
And this is Weekly Grace. And I am Reverend Marianne, and here with my dear friend, colleague, partner in crime, partner in all things angel, and all things divine, Reverend Jamie.
Hello, hello. It's been a while. We've been on hiatus, so we have been doing, well, I'd say doing summer things, but me and Marianne don't live normal lives. So
we love anything.
Things are not what most people's summer things are, but we love it. We wouldn't have it any other way. But yeah, I just feel, I was sitting here thinking, and I was like, it feels like I haven't done this for a while. And I was like, I haven't for several months. And like, it feels good to be back and back on we're trying out a new day and time. And yeah, I'm excited.
So welcome to anybody who may be joining us live who hasn't had the opportunity before. And if you're joining us by recording later, welcome to you as well. And before we really get into our program, just want to take a moment to remind everyone that this is our fundraising month here at Divine Order of Sacred Rose. And any donation, large, small, it is our pleasure to accept it. And we promise to put it to good use. It helps us with our expenses for our accountant, who helps us with our financial submissions and our tax documents, and it helps us fund our paperwork to maintain nonprofit status within the state. And it also helps us maintain our databases and printed papers and other miscellaneous charges. Our expenses are few, but they are there. So any help we can get to keep them going and to allow us to be here to help you and support our community is more than gratefully accepted. And any donor, we will be happy to send you a laminated card, an 8x10 and a 5x7 version of our 13 tenets. And for a donation of $150 or more, we will also include a set of our beautiful tenet stones. And each stone, 13 stones, each one of them has one of our tenets on it. And we use that, and I had forgotten to draw one, so I will talk about that a little later, but I have my tenets for the week right here for us. So without further ado, I will put up on the screen for a second here, just the donation link, and we will also include it in the comments to today's program once we are done. But that is the link for our donations. And you will notice if you go to that page, there are some suggested donation amounts, but you can also hit the other button and send anything that feels right for you and only if guided. So thank you. And with that little advertisement out of the way.
Right.
On with the show.
And I apologize if you see me blotting my eye. It is fall allergy season has arrived, and my allergies have decided to like, oh, you know what? We're going to come to Weekly Grace as well. So I apologize for my
well, just as we accept all donations, large and small, we accept all illnesses to be healed.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
let's get started. 1-0.
Let's get started with an opening blessing.
Perfect.
So if you would just get yourself comfortable wherever you are. If you're able, sit your feet on the floor, sit yourself up straight. If you're able, close your eyes and just look into your soul, your spirit, your inner self. Just allow yourself to see what's within you. You might see nothing because you don't know what you're looking for. You may see light, you may see colors, you may see a whole scene unfolding. Whatever that is, it is okay. Just know that what you're looking at is actually something. And today we're going to talk about embracing the teacher within. And that teacher is right there as you're looking within yourself. That teacher lives within your soul, within your spirit, within your heart, within the inner knowing of your being. That teacher is there. And we have to learn to fully embrace him or her. That beautiful being that comes through when we least expect it. And we have to trust that in all of our encounters, we're giving and we're receiving. We're the teacher and we're the student. And it's a give and take. And oftentimes it happens without our even knowing. So allow yourself to just really settle into that inner knowing that there is a teacher within you, as well as the student who sits beside that teacher. It's an flow of information. Feel it and embrace it. And know that it is there for your greatest and highest good. Allow yourself to float between being the teacher and being the student. Take a minute and just sit with that thought that you are both the teacher and you are the student. And love yourself for that. And if sometimes you're more student than teacher, that's okay. And if sometimes you think you're more teacher than student, that's okay too. I'm being guided to tell you that no matter where you are on your journey, you are exactly where you're meant to be at this very moment, experiencing the things you are meant to experience at this very moment. Know it, accept it, embrace it. And with that, as you're ready to come back, let's open our eyes and see where the discussion takes us today.
Beautiful. Thank you, Marianne.
You're welcome. And thank you. And thank you, angels, because I had no idea where we were going.
So one thing, transparency with me and Marianne, and maybe this even ties into the teacher, right? Is we always prepare ahead of time, but yet we never know what we're going to say. And it's just really funny how our angels like do this every single time. Or we think we have a topic and we get on here and it goes completely a whole other direction. And as we were tuning into this and embracing the teacher within, I was like, oh, I don't really know. Like, what am I going to say? What am I going to talk about? You know, talking to my angels. And then it hit me, kind of everything I was doing was actually the teacher within. And I feel like it kind of manifests in different forms. You know, sometimes the teacher within is, you know, the voice that I hear. Sometimes the teacher within is my conscience and me having a sit down if I may have, you know, said something I didn't, I maybe shouldn't have said, or done something that I maybe shouldn't have did. So for me, just really, allowing myself grace and compassion, and the gift of just pausing and listening, like, really allows me to hear my teacher. I feel like for me, listening, embracing the teacher within allows me to be a teacher for others. So it doesn't mean that I'm always right, because like I always have, something guiding me, something teaching me, something leading me, and even through my mistakes and the way I handle them, or may recover from them, or, learn from them, kind of allows, me to role model for others, and in turn be a teacher for, them, and then them to find their teacher within. So many times I have people asking, well, what do you do? Like, how do you just be you and be so free? And I really feel that part of it is just, right, that guidance, that teacher, that inner wisdom, that inner knowing, and just going with it, even if it means I may do things that some people question or doesn't logically make sense. But, been known to do that a time or two. But in that, there is this freedom, and when I don't conform and try to do things a certain way, right, because other people were taught that this is the way you have to do it. And granted, there are some things that, yes, you need to be taught, like you need to do things in this order because something bad could happen, So there are practical teaching guidelines that, yes, please follow. But I feel like when, we speak in terms of our spirituality and our connection with source, even, and that connection with, with our guidance and our creator, that for us, it's going to show up in different ways. And I think that's one of the things I love about this community is you're not necessarily told how to do it, but you're shown so many different ways and so many different options and potentials and possibilities of how you can connect with that inner knowing, which for me, as I'm rambling this out, I feel like it's just that inner knowing, that inner wisdom, that's the inner teacher.
I wholeheartedly agree. And, we had originally started with saying, how do you embrace that teacher within? When have you, a specific example of when that teacher, a lesson that came forth that you didn't even realize was coming forward. And I think that happens on a day-to-day basis. And then there are also times where we are the student, but we become a self-teacher, because sometimes we find ourselves in an experience where we said, I should have done that. And so it's through an experience, a lesson. And rather than beating ourselves up over why didn't I do that, we learn for the next time. So that's embracing the lesson and then becoming the teacher. And, perfect example of that is this past weekend. And I went to a shower/birthday party for my niece who was up from Florida. And the function hall we were at, it wasn't even a function hall, it was a community building, and it wasn't handicap accessible. And the restrooms were down in the basement. It was like an old historical church building. And so my brother had said, I had asked where the restrooms were, and my brother said, oh, they're downstairs, but the stair is really big. Do you want me to help you? Now, I have two bum knees, both, I have, I kind of waddle around from time to time. So I was like, no, I'll be fine. And the first stair going down into the basement, to the bathroom, was a larger than usual stair. So that's what I thought he meant. And I was like, I got this. So I went down, and it's walking through this unfinished, this unfinished musty basement. And in the back of the room, there are two stalls, an 18-inch step to get into them. I'm like, this is what he was talking about. And why didn't I let him come help me? So now I'm holding on to the door jamb to get in to this little stall that's, itsy bitsy that I was squeezing myself into that, basically was a child's bathroom.
Oh my gosh.
I take care of what I have to take care of, and I am ready to get out, and I'm looking, I'm going, all right, so which knee is stronger to support me to get down the 18 inches? And then I was like, oh, somebody's got to be coming down. Somebody will give me a hand. Nobody came down. So I did finally get down. I really wish there were cameras, because it probably would have been pretty funny.
Oh
I got upstairs and I said to my brother, I will always let you escort me anywhere when you offer.
Oh my goodness.
So lesson learned, right?
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have been. So I can do it myself, so independent, and said, yeah, you know what? If you're offering, maybe I do need you to come with me.
Mm-hmm.
So that
you made it here, even though you did it in a timely fashion.
Right.
I
had said to him jokingly, if I'm not back in 15 minutes, then to search party, never realizing that I may have really needed the search party. But I could have beat myself up. I could have gotten, really upset about it. It was just easier to laugh at myself, to find the humor in it, and to say, you know what, lesson learned. So he was my teacher, but I also now have learned that lesson, and I can be a teacher for others, and maybe I will do a better job of explaining what I mean by there's a high stair down there. I've learned how to be a better teacher.
Yeah, not a big staircase.
Right. So, and that's kind of just a funny way of just kind of saying, sometimes we have to listen to and accept invitations of help, because that is our stopping to be the student. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we are offering the help, and that is the teacher within us. And sometimes the teacher within us comes out just in the behaviors that we model. And just the way we live our lives, we are being teachers. And so pay attention to the actions you take, because you don't know who's watching, whether it's a child, whether it's one of our community members, whether it's the next door neighbor. They're watching how we're living our lives. And if we live and allow them to live through us by example, and we're living a wholesome, divine, spiritual, good life, then we're bringing a non-judgmental. I'm hearing live a non-judgmental life.
You said a whole word right there.
You
because we never know what people are going through.
Exactly. And you never know when somebody is going to feel so totally embraced that we don't realize. We think that we're showing them something. And it's through our actions later on that it finally is that final light bulb moment. So just always live that life as if you are the teacher, as if you are living the life you want others to model.
I love that. I try to do that, especially since my baby boy's going to be 18 next month.
Oh my goodness.
I know. I'm going to be okay. It's going to be fine. It's fine. Really, it's fine. But just saying. But 18 years ago, I really turned my life around, because I thought, wow, like it's, obviously the whole, it's not just about me anymore, but it really hit on a different level of like role modeling, teaching my child through my actions.
Mm-hmm.
And, even up to this point. And he has no problem letting me know, Mom, like, you're being a little crazy, or Mom, like, he's so sweet. Mom, you should be a little more compassionate with that person. You're not being very, you're not showing a lot of compassion. He corrects me, and but even through his, corrections, and it's really funny. He really is like, he could probably be my parent. just because he really has an innate wisdom. But I was just thinking back to like what you were saying, like sometimes, we learn to teach by being taught. And my son definitely teaches me a lot, and it makes me giggle because, right, I'm trying to teach him by my actions, but yet sometimes he has to remind me of things or point things out to me, so he's teaching me as I'm teaching him. And it's actually a really, really beautiful cycle. And also, when you were speaking, I heard this years ago, but there was some kind of example when, someone wanted their child to be a doctor and the child said, no, I want to be a teacher. And the parent was like, why would you want to be a teacher? Doctors make all this money. And he said, yeah, but who teaches the doctors? How do the doctors learn? So for some reason that was just really like jumped out at me as you were speaking, so it's like, in that, even with what I just shared, like not, humbling ourselves, dare I say, enough to let those that some may seem less than because either they're not making all this money or they're so much younger, like don't count them out or discredit them from being teachers. Marianne shared the best video earlier of this little, her niece, she's like 2.5, and just like, oh my gosh, just, embracing, teaching, reminding us in teaching us like what it is to just sing your heart out, and just, that youthful folly and joyfulness that we all, I feel, could use at times, so allowing her to be a teacher to remind me that like, I can do that too. I might not sound as good, but like I can do that too and connect to that joy, and just be free and just let loose and don't be so rigid and so tight. So, don't discredit who may show up as a teacher for you in your life, because you could really miss some, deep, deep wisdom and just even gentle reminders of things that you can be doing for yourself to just, it's tricky right now. It's been tricky. It will probably just looking at planetarily speaking, there's a potential for just, we're just in the thick of it. I do feel the more we align, right, and we allow ourselves to be taught, and we, as we're taught and we align more deeply and we role model, that it does help. But, but like life is tricky, life is heavy at times. Life is also beautiful at times. But, in those moments when it feels tricky or you might feel frustrated, like even like don't shut down or, block people out that might really be able to come show you something or show you a way or teach you something that, again, you can in turn take to another, as you're feeling better and able to be more in a space of, support versus being supported. There's just so much wisdom. I'm just seeing like this, oh, I can't say the word, reciprocate. That word. Yeah, that one. Yeah, the reciprocities, so something like that. Y'all know what I mean. But like the circle of teaching and learning.
I think it's reciprocity.
There we go. That sounds a lot better than I was trying to say. See, I'm letting Marianne teach me how to speak because
I might be wrong, but
yeah. Well, that's Bostonian. We're gonna roll with the Massachusetts pronunciation. I love it. I love it.
Well, and interesting. I said I had forgotten to pick a tenet for the week, and the stones. While you were talking, I just happened to look at it. I am compassionate in every moment. What a great message for the teacher within us to actually live by. That being compassionate in every moment allows us to really be a better teacher. By being compassionate, by being kind, by teaching without judgment, and just sharing our experiences in an authentic way.
Yeah. Because that inner critic, when we're, stressed or tired or just, really going through a challenging time, or if we're in a season that's just, might feel more trying than others, if we let that inner critic take over and be the teacher, like that compassion can fall to the wayside and we can really beat ourselves up. So I love that. I love that stone. I love that stone.
And I think we have to be non-judgmental of ourselves as well. And we have to be gentle with ourselves. And by doing that and allowing others to see us, whether we have done something wrong and accepting the blame, accepting that, and then either trying to fix it or just saying, I made a mistake and I'm sorry. Yeah. And then taking the necessary corrective action. That in itself is such a teaching moment for others, is to just be compassionate with ourselves as well. And with that, I feel complete.
Yeah, say that's a wrap, Jack. Yeah, that feels really good.
I know it was a lot of information, a lot of jumble, but I feel like it all will tie in, you know. So don't judge the delivery. Listen to the message.
And what sticks out for you, take that. And I'm curious to see how it's tying in with the rest of the messages shared this week through our weekly grace. So.
Yes. So, all right. So before we get to the tenets, let me just remind everyone that on Sunday, and I know sometimes it's Wednesday, sometimes it's Sunday. This Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern, Reverends Carolyn and Dawn will be here with you to continue and close out the discussion on embracing the teacher within. And it will be interesting to hear how their message comes through them and where they take this theme. So stay tuned for that, same station. And that's Sunday at 11, and I will post a reminder for you. And with that, are we ready to go to
our tenets?
Let me pull our tenets up, and then Jamie, you can get us started.
Yeah, I've hit the age where I probably need bifocals, so if I try to read from my little card, I like it better when it's on the screen.
Well, it's nice because you can either follow along or just read along.
Absolutely. So just inviting you all back into that space that Marianne so beautifully took us to in the beginning in our opening blessing. Just connecting in and seeing into our soul, into our being, and allowing these beautiful tenets to fill you there. As we read each one, seeing how it comes in and just kind of imprints and takes residence inside of you, allowing yourself to embody them for the beauty and wisdom that they are. I open my heart with deep gratitude and intend today to master my spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical energies. I am dedicated to my spiritual practice. I surrender to my soul's purpose through sacred prayer. I own my guidance.
I live in partnership with my angels. I serve with a loving heart. I am compassionate in every moment.
I trust it's all good. I allow immediate forgiveness. I honor my truth.
I listen to the spiritual messages within my physical body. I express myself creatively. I love all beings with an open heart and an open mind. I am one with Mother Earth, and so it is.
And so it is, and so it shall be. And as we depart this space, this place, and this time, and venture off into the rest of the week, usually it's the beginning of the week when we've been doing this, but as we venture off through the rest of the week and into the weekend, just asking the divine and the angels to wrap their love around us, to blanket us in compassion, to allow us to move with ease, and allow us to just be the love and make the impact that we're here to make. And I usually go with a different closing, but that's what I'm hearing for this one. So maybe our original or infamous closing prayer will be back next month when we gather again. But for today I'm just hearing that's it. So blessed be.
Blessed be, and thank you everyone for joining us. I will post the link for the fundraiser if that is something that is calling to you. If not, we love you, and keep sending us prayers and good thoughts. And we will see you again next month. Watch Facebook for the schedule, and be well.
Be well, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.